After getting off work late, dragging my tired body, I had just reached the door of the shared house. My phone suddenly buzzed with a message. Please be sure to return home before 11 p.m. and lock the door when you get back. Spam messages are really strange these days. I glanced at the time, 10:53. The hallway was empty, the world outside pitch black, a thin veil of fog hanging in the air. The whole complex was utterly silent, not a sound to be heard. A sudden chill crept over me. I hurriedly fumbled to punch in the door code. The electronic door lock didn't respond. It looked like the batteries had died. Knocking brought no answer. The phone gave a buzz, a new text message. If you have not entered the house by 11 o'clock, please contact the patrol security guard. Patrol security guards only appeared downstairs by the building entrance, wearing uniforms and carrying radios. Patrol guards will not go upstairs on their own. If you meet someone alone in the hallway wearing a security uniform, do not speak to them. Since when did our complex have patrol guards? Before I could finish wondering, a voice came from behind. Aaron, why aren't you going in? It was Ding-E. He stood at the elevator door. The pallid corridor light shone down from above him, casting a blanket of shadow across his face. Ding-E is my roommate. The two of us, plus two other housemates, rented this 3-bedroom apartment together. Ding-E and I each have a room, and the other two share the remaining one. The lock's out of power, I said, pointing at the electronic lock. I didn't bring a power bank. Oh, I brought one. Ding-E rummaged through his bag, not forgetting to ask me, what time is it now? 10:56. There are 4 minutes left. Don't know if that's enough time. He chuckled. What? What 4 minutes? I drew a breath of cold air. You didn't get that text too, did you? While we spoke, Ding-E had already found a power bank and plugged it into the electronic door lock. He stared at the electronic door lock, the text telling everyone to be home before 11. Everyone got it. Check the group. I hastily opened the group chat. Sure enough, whether it was the flatmate group or the residential owners group, everyone was talking about it. Just as I was about to read the discussion more carefully, my phone suddenly vibrated again. Your dad. Whether you are male or female, old or young, your dad. You have a wife and 3 children. The children are the older brother, the older sister, and the younger sister. You live in room 502. Do not trust the older brother. The final sentence was highlighted in red, strikingly conspicuous. All right, Ding-E's voice sounded. He quickly typed the code, opened the door, and glanced at his phone. 10:59 made it. Ding-E, who are you? I asked him, my voice trembling. Just now, at the same time my phone vibrated, his phone had also given a message alert. Identity. He opened the new message, his gaze faltering. I'm the older brother. Do not trust the older brother. He didn't notice my oddness. He stepped into the room with one leg first. Let's talk inside. I glanced at my phone. The clock read exactly 11 o'clock. What's wrong? Come on in. Ding-E waved at me. The hallway light flickered. The smile on his face was strange. I shivered. I just remembered there's a package I forgot to pick up. I made up an excuse for myself. I'll go get it. Didn't we say everyone should be back in their rooms before 11? Ding-E's expression froze for a moment. Then he forced a smile. It's fine. Messages like that are just pranks. If we ignore it, we ignore it. Before his words finished, the front door was suddenly slammed shut with force. Bang! The sound of a door closing echoed through the empty stairwell. The corridor lights hummed. My palms were slick with sweat. After several deep breaths, I finally managed to take the first step. To find a patrol guard. Hey, you over there, what are you doing? The reprimand rang out and startled me. A person in a security guard uniform pushed open the stairwell door and stepped into the corridor. He held a flashlight, swinging it back and forth. Ah, is this the patrol guard? Saved. I was just about to speak when another voice came from the stairwell. Patrol guard? Is that the patrol guard? The man turned back and said, yes. The stairwell door was wide open, and a girl was leaning out from upstairs. I came home late. I got a text saying after 11. She didn't finish her sentence. She couldn't finish her sentence. With a single cry, she vanished, in an instant gone from the corridor, as if she'd never existed in this world. My whole body trembled, and only then did I remember the second text message. The patrol security guard will only appear downstairs at the building entrance and will not go upstairs on their own. If you meet someone in a security uniform in the corridor, do not speak to them. The person in the security uniform turned their head to look at me. I forced myself to stay calm, pretended not to see him, and pressed the button for the down elevator. The elevator stopped on the first floor, but the number on the display lingered and wouldn't move. A whiff of rotten fish drifted in, faint but unmistakable. "Hey, what are you doing wandering around so late?" He came down. Don't answer. The elevator didn't budge. A red dot appeared on the display, indicating someone had occupied the elevator and it couldn't operate for the time being. Of all times, it had to be now. I cursed under my breath and turned to step into the stairwell. The man in the security uniform followed behind. In the narrow stairwell, the two of us walked one after the other. Our footsteps echoed in the empty space. Hood. Buzz. The phone's text tone sounded again. Between 11 p.m. and 6 a.m., do not make any noise. When I reached the second floor, I heard the sound of a stairwell door opening behind me. The so-called patrol security went onto the second floor and didn't follow me anymore. I found the Real patrol guard downstairs in the building wearing a security uniform. He was holding a walkie-talkie, from which a crackling sound came. ZZZZ. Building 3, 1501. Hammering ZZZZ. Neighbor complaint. Stop the noise. ZZZ property staff contacting. Contact failed. Building number 3 was directly opposite the one I was facing. I saw the lights in room 1501 flicker, then suddenly go out. Immediately, a faint red glow rose in the formerly pitch-dark room, lascivious and eerie. The patrolling guard clipped his walkie-talkie back to his belt and said nothing. I swallowed and spoke up. Hello. It's 11 o'clock. I couldn't get in my home. Got it. I'll take you through the emergency exit. He wore an all-business expression, cold as ice, but it calmed me instantly. He led me through the small door beside the stairwell. It was supposed to be a fire escape, yet an elevator had somehow appeared there. Which room? The patrol guard asked, deftly tapping an electronic display. 502. Okay. When the elevator opens, your door will be right in front of you. Don't look back. Don't look around. Go straight inside. Okay, I got it. What had just happened was all too strange, and I knew clearly that what I was facing was far from a simple prank. The elevator doors opened, and the patrol guard motioned for me to go in alone. I seized the last moment. Do you have any other advice? The patrol guard paused briefly. Follow the guidance of the true rules, and play your part well. The elevator doors closed in front of me. I dug up the text message I had received earlier. You are dad. Whether you're male or female, old or young, you are dad. I finally returned to the little flat we shared. The lights were off inside. The TV's glow was the only source of light. The three sat on the sofa, staring at the TV, motionless. The television was turned to the lowest volume, as if it were playing a silent film. Fluorescent light flickered, their faces brightening and dimming. At the sound, they all turned their gazes toward me at the same time. Susie, xiao yu bai, bing yuan chi. The bathroom door behind me opened, and ding, he came out as well. Just now I knocked. Why didn't you open the door? I greeted them. We all got a text message when we got home. Susie was the first to explain. Xiao yu bai was curled up in Bing Yuan Chi's arms, looking frightened, sniffling faintly. Boo-hoo, I didn't dare open the door. Bing Yuan Chi looked at me, pursing his lips. I thought it was a prank. Looks like it's real. As if to confirm what they said, I received a new text message, too. The property management will conduct door-to-door inspections. Please cooperate. Property staff will be wearing blue uniforms and carrying notebooks. Don't open the door for anyone except property management staff. We three got home one after another around 10 o'clock. As soon as we stepped inside, we'd received this message. Susie continued to explain. Don't open the door for anyone. So you won't open the door for me? I said, a little angry. We're roommates, you know. Although we were renting together, we'd always been close, often cooking together, going out to have fun. Just because of that strange text message, we won't open the door? I was about to argue with them, but afraid my voice would get too loud and become noise, I hurriedly lowered it. Aaron. Ding Yi's voice shook a little as he called me. There are 4 of us renting this place together. Those words hit me like a bolt out of the blue. I counted the people in the room over and over. 5. No mistake. We were 4 roommates sharing a 3-bedroom apartment. There was an extra person. Who was it? This is how it is. We all think we're tenants of this apartment, but we're also all clear that this place only has 4 tenants. Mr.H crossed his arms. Don't joke with me. A chill ran over my scalp. Did any of you bring a friend back to stay over? No. The others answered in unison. Indeed, in my memory, there were 5 of us as tenants. No one knew who the extra person was. Everyone believed they were the one sharing the apartment with the rest. Strangely, I could call out their names, yet I didn't know who lived in which room. Dingy told me that when he came back, he found nameplates on the doors of the 3 bedrooms. The master with its own bathroom read Dad and Mom. The south-facing secondary bedroom read Younger Sister. The north-facing secondary bedroom read Older Sister. And on the living room sofa was a label that said Older Brother. Your dad. Whether you're male or female, old or young, your dad. You have a wife and 3 children. The children are older brother, older sister, and younger sister. You all live in room 502. Follow the guidance of the true rules and play your role well. I understood. I looked at the others. When it gets close to 11, did everyone receive a text about an identity? We have to live according to that identity. I am father, Xiaoyu by his mother. Ding Yi is elder brother. Susie is elder sister. Mr.H is younger sister. Buzz. New message notification. The property management's household inspection has begun. Only guardians may speak with property staff. At the same time, the doorbell rang. 2 people appeared at the door, wearing blue work uniforms and holding notebooks. Hello, property management. We're conducting a household survey. Xiaoyu trembled all over, too scared to approach the door. I calmed my breath and opened the door. Hello. 502, right? One of the property staff peered into the room. What role are you? I am Dad. How many people live in the house? Did that mean 4 people or 5? The building staff glanced up at me. Only then did I notice their eyes were pitch black. There was no white at all. I shivered and looked back at the others. Ding, he held up 5 fingers at me. Susie held up 4. Xiaoyu curled into a ball, and Mr.H was busy comforting Xiaoyu. I remember the text message, don't trust brother. So, say 4 people? But according to the roles and the rules, there are 5 people in our home. Stop spacing out. What did I just say? The building attendant snapped. Xiaoyu shivered all over and stammered. 4 people. Oh, then why are there 5 people in your room? My heart skipped a beat. The next second, Xiaoyu cried out, her eyes rolling back as she fainted. The property manager brusquely yanked Xiaoyu out of Mr.H's hands. There, now the number of people in your household matches. Seeing them about to take Xiaoyu away, I hurriedly called after them, wait. The property staff stopped in their tracks, not turning around. We only make sure the numbers match. Who you evict is for you to decide. The other staff member tried to ease the mood. We'll do another in-home inspection at the same time tomorrow. If you've made up your minds, you can swap with us then. The 2 left the room with Xiaoyu. The door slammed shut with a bang, and the room fell silent. After a long while, Mr.H spoke. Who is the extra person? Exactly. What answered her was a series of vibrating phones. VRR, VRR, VRR. All of our phones started buzzing one after another. The one I received was, please return to your room before 1 a.m. After entering, do not turn on the lights. You may read for a while before going to sleep. You may read for a while before going to sleep was grayed out. Dad needs to get up at 7 in the morning, leave for work at 8, and come home at 6 in the evening. I lay on the big bed, tossing and turning, unable to sleep. I went into the room without turning on the light, and I didn't read. That strike-through was just too odd, like someone had deliberately crossed it out. It was only natural to be suspicious. Anyway, it didn't say we had to read anything, so I might as well do nothing. But still, I was restless. Tomorrow night, I'd be the only one who could talk to the building staff. What should I say then? Who is the extra person? The text message told me, don't trust brother. But just now, brother gestured 5 at me. He was right. If I didn't trust him and said there were 4 people, the one taken would have been me. Could it be that not all the rules are correct? I remember what the patrol guard said. He told me, follow the guidance of the true rules, the real rules. So, certainly some of the rules are wrong, or rather have been tampered with. That's even more troublesome. If you disobey a rule, you vanish. If you follow a wrong rule, you still face danger. More importantly, there's an extra person mixed in among us. I can't casually confide in anyone. If I happen to confide in that extra person, it'll be trouble. It's even possible that I myself am the extra person. That thought isn't out of the question. I let my mind wander like that until dawn, then barely managed to fall asleep. At 7, the alarm went off. I was about to hit snooze and keep sleeping when I suddenly remembered the rule about getting up at 7. So I rolled out of bed immediately. I drew back the curtains and soft sunlight spilled in. My head felt foggy, as if I'd had a miserable nightmare. Maybe everything that happened yesterday was a dream. I unlocked my phone, hoping to see an empty message inbox. I was disappointed. The rules lay there on my phone, perfectly intact. Aaron, come out and eat. Ding, he called from the doorway. I sighed and pushed the door open. On the table were the soy milk, steamed buns, and fried dough sticks we'd bought. Susie sat at the table. Ding, he was peeling a boiled egg, and Bing Yuan Chi was putting on makeup in the bathroom. It could have been any ordinary morning, except that everyone looked grave. My mind was a mess. I didn't know where to start. Somehow the first question that came out was, "Are you guys going to school?" Puffed. Susie laughed out loud. Aaron, we're all workers here. With the way we look, we shouldn't be going to school. His laugh eased the atmosphere a lot. I know what Aaron means. Ding, he returned to the table, holding a peeled boiled egg. After all, I'm the older brother. You two are a sister and a younger sister. TCH, I was going to say that yesterday. I'm a grown man. How did I end up being the sister? Susie rolled his eyes. Look who's talking. I slept on the couch all night yesterday. Ding, he snorted. Can't your sister share a room? I don't mind, Susie said with a sly little laugh. Bing Yuan Chi's voice immediately came from the bathroom. In your dreams. They all get along so well. Ding, he looked at me and went on to explain my question. Aaron, the text I got only told me to leave at 8. It didn't say what to do when I left. I guess theirs was the same. Right, leave at 8, be home by 5. Come on, is the boss likely to let me off at 5? Ding, he took a sip of soy milk. Take time off then. Yeah, just commuting takes over half an hour. How many companies actually let you go home before 6? Take a day off. I shrugged off my boss's displeased looks, packed up just after 5, and left the office. No sooner had I stepped outside than my phone buzzed again. Dad needs to buy dinner on his way home. Do not order takeout. Because after 5 o'clock in the afternoon, Dad cannot order takeout. After you get home, if you find sister in your room, don't make a sound. Go straight to brother. Brother will help you. Remember, do not let sister discover you. If little sister knocks on your door, do not answer. Brother only plays mobile games, not online PC games. If you see brother playing an online PC game, return to your room immediately. Only the extra person will take you to the other members' rooms. The extra person will hurt you. The last sentence was italicized, its color bright red. The succession of messages made my head buzz. I took several deep breaths to steady myself. The message reminded me that among us, it was very possible that one person was the extra. No one knew what this extra person might do. We had to think a way to find them. I bought some cooked food from a shop by the road and brought it home. I also waited at the door for a while so that my arrival would be exactly at 6 o'clock. The room was very quiet. Ding, he was curled up on the sofa playing on her phone. The doors to elder sister's and younger sister's rooms were both tightly shut. I had no idea what they were doing inside. I set the dishes on the dining table and was about to go back to my room to drop off my things. When my hand touched the doorknob, I froze. The door wasn't fully closed. I held my breath. Rustling sounds came from inside. I gently pushed the door open a crack and pressed my eye to it. Through the gap, I could see Susie rummaging through something inside. After you get home, if you find your sister in your room, don't make a sound. Go straight to your brother. Remember, don't let your sister find you. I tiptoed away from the door and walked toward Ding E by the sofa. He noticed the movement on my side and started to say, HM? What? Shuh. I hurriedly made a shushing gesture. The rustling from my room stopped. I froze where I stood, unable to move. Don't let them notice. Don't let them notice. The silence around me was terrifying. I could hear my own heartbeat pounding. Ding, he was motionless too. At last, the rustling sound began again. I breathed a sigh of relief, pointed at the room, then at myself, and then at Ding E. He understood immediately, stood up and lowered his voice. Come with me. He didn't leave the house, but stopped in front of his sister's bedroom. He took out his keys, turned the handle, and the door swung open. Come in. Only the extra person will take you to the other members' rooms. That didn't make any sense. The texts I received included these two messages. After you get home, if you find sister in your room, don't make a sound. Go straight to brother. Brother will help you. Remember, do not let sister discover you. Only the extra person will take you to the other members' rooms. The extra person will hurt you. These two messages contradicted each other. My older brother is Dingy. He took me to the other members' rooms. If only the extra person would take me to the other members' rooms, then that would mean Ding E is the extra person. The extra person would hurt me. My older brother would help me. But now both of those roles are Ding E. There must be one rule that's wrong. Or rather, a fake. What's wrong, not coming in? Ding Yi's voice sounded again. He stood behind the door, reaching out his hand to me, just like last night when he stood at the doorway. Don't trust brother. That blood-red message appeared in his mind again. Brother will help you. Believe it or not. Aaron, Ding E frowned, as if realizing something. Aaron, trust me. I took a breath, my mind raced. So far, the rules that have proven true were all in black. Brother will help you. Black, plain font. Do not trust older brother. Red, regular font. Only the extra person will take you to other members' rooms. The extra person will hurt you. Red, italic. Trust him. I met his gaze. His eyes were calm and resolute. I stepped into my sister's room. The door closed behind me. I did not disappear. Nothing strange happened. I won the bet. I let out a long breath. Aaron, did the message you received have a change in font? Ding, he asked. Mine did too. He handed his phone straight to me. When you get home, if Dad comes looking for you, take him to your sister's room. Please do not enter your younger sister's room. No matter what your older sister is doing, do not tell Dad. The same as what I received. The last message Ding E got, also read in italic. By my guess, this special font might operate differently from the other rules. Ding E lowered his eyes to the phone, his long eyelashes trembling slightly. Why did you show these to me directly? I asked him. This is dangerous. I realized there were some general rules in effect, like being home before 11 and not making noise from 11 at night until 6 in the morning. Meanwhile, because the roles differ, there are also rules that apply to specific roles. The text messages received by different roles vary, which means the trigger conditions for each person's rule violations are different. I now know that the brother cannot enter the sister's room. If I were the villain, I could lure him, even force him into the sister's room. He would meet danger because of it. No one knows who the extra person is. No one knows exactly who will bring the danger. At a time like this, he still had to do something like that. Aaron, I need a companion. Ding Yi's voice pulled me out of my thoughts. He looked at me, a faint light flickering in his eyes. Now we know there are rules that are correct and others that are misleading. Without more information to compare, we can't tell which are right and which are deceptive. I understood what he meant. This is a game of finding the extra person and also a game of finding your companions. When you have gathered all your companions, then that extra person will be obvious. Why would you trust me? Hearing the question, Ding E smiled faintly. Because Aaron's behavior clearly marks him as a closed-eyes player. You have no extra information and are earnestly sorting out the wolf pits. You think this is werewolf? I rolled my eyes at him, and for some reason felt a lot more at ease. What do we do next? You're the only one who can talk to the building staff. So we need to find a person who's actually extra as soon as possible and hand them over to the staff. So, will all these strange rules disappear then? Dingy fell silent for a moment. I don't know. But for now, we can only try this. Time, 6:30 in the evening. 5 hours remained until the property staff would come to conduct their inspection. Ding, E and I went over the text messages we had received again. Everyone had received the following. Please be sure to return home before 11 p.m. and lock the door when you get back. If you have not entered the house by 11 o'clock, please contact the patrol security guard. Patrol security guards will only appear downstairs by the apartment entrance, wearing uniforms and carrying walkie-talkies. Patrol guards will not proactively go upstairs if they are on the premises. If you encounter someone alone in the stairwell wearing a security guard uniform, do not speak to them. Between 11 p.m. and 6 a.m., do not make any noise. The property management will conduct door-to-door inspections. Please cooperate. The property staff will be wearing blue uniforms and carrying a notebook. Do not open the door for anyone except property staff. Property inspections have begun. Only the parents may speak with property staff. Please return to your room before 1 a.m. After entering, do not turn on the light. You may read for a while before going to sleep. Gray. What I received was, your dad. Whether you're male or female, old or young, your dad. You have a wife and 3 children. The children are the older brother, the older sister, and the younger sister. You live in room 502. Don't trust the brother. In red, already confirmed false. Dad needs to get up at 7 in the morning, leave for work at 8, and come home at 6 in the evening. Dad needs to buy dinner on his way home. Do not order takeout. Because after 5 o'clock in the afternoon, Dad cannot order takeout. When he gets home, if he finds sister in your room, do not make a sound. Go straight to brother. Brother will help you. Remember, do not be discovered by sister. If little sister knocks on your door, do not answer. Brother only plays mobile games, not online PC games. If you see brother playing an online PC game, return to your room immediately. Only the extra person will take you to another member's room. The extra person will hurt you. Italic, red, confirmed fake. Ding, you received. You're the older sibling. Whether you are male or female, old or young, you're the older sibling. Your family members are father, mother, older sister, younger sister, and you. You live in room 502. The older sibling must get up at 6 in the morning, buy breakfast before 7, leave the house by 8, and return home at 5:30 in the afternoon. When you return home, if father comes looking for you, you may take him to your older sister's room. Please do not enter your sister's room. No matter what your sister is doing, do not tell Dad. Italic red. I had no clue at all about how to find the extra person. During dinner, I told Ding Yu what we'd done together, try and make the extra person slip up. Susie and Bing Yuan Chi remembered everything clearly, even the details, and could recite them without hesitation. The direction might be off. Ding Yu messaged me. If we can't tell who the extra person is, it might be because our memories have been altered. That would mean the things we remember doing together might have been changed as well. The extra person would also have memories of the things we did together. I gave a soft sigh and glanced at the people beside me. The remaining 3 sat scattered in front of the TV, each lost in their own thoughts. It was 8 o'clock. Susie, what messages did you get? I ventured, testing the waters. Messages? Susie set the remote aside. He had been holding the remote for a while, but hadn't changed the channel. Oh, right. The text message. You seem to have just realized. Didn't you all get the same one? Can I see it? No, you can't. Susie's expression changed. Didn't you get the reminder message? It said, under no circumstances let anyone see the contents you received. Ding E and I exchanged a glance. Bing Yuan Chi lifted his eyelids a little and said nothing. I couldn't help sitting up straighter, pretending to change the subject casually. Susie, when the building staff asked me yesterday how many people live here, you showed me 4. That's because the flat share itself is 4 people. Susie paused, then realized, Aaron, are you doubting me? I'm just trying to find the extra person. Tonight, I'm the only one who can talk to the building staff. The pressure made me unconsciously raise my voice. Why are you afraid to let me see your phone? Ah, I saw it yesterday too. The family in the next building that made noise and broke the rules, they just vanished in an instant. Susie stood up, strode over to me, and grabbed my collar. Aaron, You're the extra one here, aren't you? You forced me to break the rules to make me disappear. He was much stronger than me. In an instant, he had me lifted off the ground. Susie, calm down. Ding, he hurriedly tried to dissuade him. Who doesn't want to find the extra person as soon as possible? Now, there's this bunch of weird rules telling me I have to be back by 5. My boss already wanted to fire me, and now he has even more reason. Susie's fist swung in front of my face, as if it would land the next second. Ding, he couldn't control him either. He could only shout, Susie. Susie, about work? Everyone's under a lot of pressure. Bing Yuan Chi took a breath and spoke slowly. Aaron, Susie isn't deliberately refusing to let you see her phone. She looked at me, her gaze earnest, because I also received the message Susie mentioned. The message said, under no circumstances, let anyone see what you receive. So we can tell you what we got, but we can't show you. But in this situation, anyone could be lying. She thought for a moment and offered a new suggestion. A vote. Everyone would vote for the person they thought was most likely the extra one. The minority would yield to the majority. I wasn't very convinced. After all, there was too little information right now. What then? Bing Yuan Chi shot back at me. The reply was the sound of a doorbell. Hello, property management. An entry inspection. It's only 9:30. Susie was still raging. He swore, shoved me onto the sofa, and strode off to open the door. I hurriedly tried to think of what to say later. My eyes landed on the top right corner of the TV. The TV was connected to the video doorbell, so we could see whatever the doorbell camera showed. In the frame, a person in a red vest stood outside. They were wearing a hat and holding nothing in their hands. Property staff will be wearing blue uniforms and carrying notebooks. Don't open the door for anyone except property management staff. Oh no, Susie, I called out hastily. It was already too late. There was a click as the door opened, and a gust of cold wind swept in. A metal chain appeared around Susie's neck in an instant, wrenching him to the ground. The man in the red vest lifted his head. The corners of his mouth split, stretching bit by bit toward his ears. His face was deathly pale, painted with makeup like a circus clown. Who are you? Susie demanded. He didn't say a word, strode into the room, and walked toward us on the sofa. One step, then another. Clang! The loud crash made him stop. Susie scrambled and lunged onto him, pinning him beneath her. Bing Yuan Chi finally came to his senses and cried out. The person in the red vest joints cracked and popped as his body quickly contorted into an unnatural shape, wrenching Susie's arm. Susie gritted her teeth, forcing him down with all his strength, and looked at us. Run! Susie! I snapped back to myself and hurried to help him, but he spat at me. Stay back. Want to wipe out the whole squad now? Get the hell out of here. Susie clenched the red vest so tightly her forehead veins stood out. Dingy grabbed my hand. Let's go. But, let's go. Bing Yuan Chi said the same. Ding, he grabbed me, and we ran past Susie and the man in the red vest toward the outside. As we passed them, I heard Dingy say, Susie, thank you. No big deal. Susie's voice was left trailing behind. With a clunk, Susie and the person in the red vest were shut together inside the room. Screams erupted, the sounds of a struggle spilling out. A flurry of noise. Then, with a sudden click, everything fell silent in the room. It was only quiet for a few seconds. Immediately after, there was a fierce pounding on the door. Someone was hammering at our door, as if trying to smash it open. What do we do? Bing Yuan Chi bit his lip. My mind was still numb. I think theirs were too. VZE. The phone's vibration felt like a lifesaver. We hurriedly pulled out our phones and opened the new text messages. In case of emergency, you may seek refuge at the Property Management Service Center. Do not take the elevator. If the elevator is already in motion, you may ride it. Grayed out. If the door lock is damaged, call the property management number and wait where you are. Do not contact a locksmith. Do not attempt to force the door. Any violations are at your own risk. Are we going to the property management office now? I felt like I was losing my voice. Dingy nodded. He walked to the elevator doors, hesitated briefly, then immediately turned toward the stairwell. Take the stairs. At a moment like this, We still regarded any text with strike-throughs or grayed-out words with suspicion. Luckily, we only live on the 5th floor, so climbing the stairs wasn't that painful. The stairwell was still empty, the lights flickering, a layer of dust on the steps and handrails, and I could faintly make out the footprints I had left last night. We fell into a line and had only taken a few steps when there was a loud bang. Then came the sound of the stairwell door being opened. Did it follow us? The one in the red vest. Bing Yuan-chi drew in a breath. A strange sound came from the stairwell above. Hood. Something was rolling down the stairs. Don't get worked up. Don't scare yourself, Ding Yi said in a low voice. I unconsciously eased my steps, as if afraid of being discovered. The 5 flights of stairs felt exceptionally long now. Dust in the stairwell floated up with a thud, making me want to cough. Yet I dared not, and could only hold it in with all my might. Almost there. Any moment now. At last I had arrived. Ding Yi was the first to reach the stairwell door. He reached out and pushed, but immediately came to a stop. My eyelids twitched violently. The lock's broken. The door won't open. He hurriedly dialed the property management number. Line busy. The gudong sound grew louder and louder, as if it had already reached the upper floor. A sharp shriek rang out, and the stairwell's already flickering lights suddenly went out. Hello, property. The moment the call connected, I felt like tears were about to burst out. Ding Yi's hand trembled slightly as he held the phone, trying to keep his account clear. Hello, there are 3 of us in the stairwell of Building 5 on the 1st floor. The lock is broken, and there are strange noises. Please come as soon as you can. All right, we'll send someone over right away. Through the phone, I could hear the property office's line ringing loudly, and then the sound of someone answering. Hello, property. Yes, we'll send someone over right away. Ding, he hung up and looked behind me, brow furrowed. Seems like a lot of people are finding their locks tampered with. I felt uneasy. If the management had to come from many people, then when would it be our turn? Gudong. The sound was right beside my ear. I shuddered all over and hurriedly huddled together with the other 2. We pressed against the doorway. Aside from the light filtering through the stairwell fire door's glass, there was no other illumination here. In the thick darkness, a gudong sound kept circling. It was coming. I unconsciously crossed my arms. I heard Bing Yuan-chi take a sharp breath. Aaron, Ding Yi, look. Following her finger through the glass on the stairwell door, we saw the elevator doors outside beginning to open. A neighbor came running out of the elevator, face pale with panic, and bolted for the exit. Bing Yuan-chi's voice trembled. You could take the elevator. The thud grew closer, as if it were already on the same floor as us. If we'd chosen to take the elevator then, we wouldn't be trapped here, forced to face the unknown thing in the dark, waiting for the building management to arrive at who knows what time. In the dark, I felt Ding Yi tense all over, his breathing growing rapid. He gritted his teeth. I'll break the door. Ding Yi, wait, the rules say. I was the one who brought you down the stairs. I have to be responsible for my judgment. He turned to look at us. The elevator's light poured through the glass window, his body half in the glow, half in shadow. Wait for the building management. I try to reason with him. Those who break the rules, where they go is unknown. It's coming, Ding Yi said anxiously. Susie's right. We can't all get wiped out now. He braced himself and charged at the stairwell door. I hurriedly grabbed him. Pulling at him alongside me was another cold hand. A sheen of tears gathered in Bing Yuan-chi's eyes. She and I tugged at Ding Yi together, our voices trembling as we pleaded. Ding Yi, wait a little longer. Just a little longer. Ding Yi froze where he stood, took a deep breath, then suddenly collapsed to the ground. He struck the floor with a punch, producing a dull thud. Wait a little longer. The thud suddenly stopped. The stairwell was so quiet they could hear each other's breathing. Was he waiting for an opportunity to lunge? I stood silently in front of the 2 of them, facing the darkness of the stairwell. Aaron, hey, I'm your dad. I try to make my voice sound more relaxed. Good son, good daughter, Daddy will protect you. To be honest, I didn't really know how to protect them either. I could feel Bing Yuan-chi trembling and could feel Ding Yi clenching his fist. We held our breaths in the dark. From outside the building came muffled sounds, somebody screaming, somebody wailing. We stayed perfectly still, waiting where we were, until a flashlight beam shone in. Property management. We're here to open the lock. The person outside was wearing a blue work uniform and carrying a logbook. Building 2 had completely lost contact. The whole building was plunged in darkness. Not even the red lights had appeared. Something abnormal had occurred inside Building 3. It had been sealed off. No one inside was allowed to leave, and no one outside was permitted to enter. Elevator in Building 1 is out of order, and the locks on doors and several stairwells have been damaged. There are already several people sheltering at the property management center. Some returned to find their front doors twisted and impossible to open. Others, like us, accidentally let a fake property staff member into their homes. 40 minutes remain until 11. According to the rules, everyone must be back in their own homes before 11. The property management center is in turmoil. Staff are constantly making and taking calls, radios buzzing. They run about on the phones, and staff are being pressed into service as new patrol guards. It felt like watching a movie. I sat on the temporary bench, staring with wide eyes as they came and went, until Ding-E tapped me on the shoulder. "It will pass," he said. "I hope so." A couple had just arrived not far away. The girl was trembling, curled up in the boy's arms, whimpering that she was scared. The boy held her and gently comforted her. While he was soothing her, they started kissing. "Ah, don't." Dingy followed my gaze and hurriedly lowered his voice to voice his displeasure. "Of all times, don't make me eat dog food. I've been single for so many years. I can't stand couples walking around in front of me." "Yeah, me too." Before I could finish speaking, a sudden flash of insight struck me. "Dingy. Do you have a problem with couples?" "Yeah." "In that case," I paused slightly, "I think I know who the extra person is." Ding-E, 2 other roommates, and I rented the large 3-bedroom apartment, 502. Ding-E and I each had our own rooms. The other 2 shared one. People who share the same room are either very close same-sex friends, or married, or a couple. Susie male, Xiaoyu Bai female, Bingyuan Qi female. And Ding-E and I have been single our whole lives, longtime members of the FFF group, so it's impossible for us to share a room with a couple. Excluding Ding-E and me, only 2 roommates remain, so it's either 2 women or Susie and another woman, a couple. And when a man and a woman co-rent a room, it's very likely they are a couple. So that means the other 2 roommates are both girls. Dingy picked up my train of thought. Bingyuan Qi spoke up too. Very likely. Because even though our memories changed, some habitual actions don't. She thought back carefully. I habitually go to comfort Xiaoyu. But there's no tacit coordination between Susie and me. What exactly does he want to do? Ding-Yi's voice dropped. Yeah, if Susie was the extra person, why did he appear here? What was his purpose? He didn't hurt any of us. In fact, in the end, he saved us. Who is the head of the household? The property staff's voice cut through my thoughts. What's going on here? I hurried to my feet and briefly told them about the fake building attendant I'd just encountered. The person on the intercom said something, then looked at me. You can go back now. The apartment has been cleaned. By the way, there's an extra person in our apartment. Yesterday, they took Xiaoyu Bai, Mom away. Now we've identified who the extra person is. We need to get Mom back. Who is the extra person? It's sister. The other party made a note. Okay, property staff will accompany you home. When Xiaoyu Bai was brought out, she threw herself into Bingyuan Qi's arms and cried. She had been thoroughly frightened. We made it home before 11. When we opened the door, the apartment was silent. The man in the red vest was gone. Susie lay on the floor, eyes shut tight. Susie, I stepped up to him. There were no wounds on his body. His forehead was beaded with sweat. Aaron. He didn't open his eyes, his voice weak. Trust me. Susie, you're the extra one. He didn't say anything. Sorry, Susie. I felt a little sick. He had just saved us, and now I was about to have the building staff take him away. He shook his head and let the staff pull him to his feet and lead him toward the door. Trust me. He said it again as he closed the door. It was almost 11. We locked the door. No one said a word. Outside the window, it was still noisy. People were running. Someone screamed. Others argued with the patrolling guards, demanding to know what on earth was happening. At 11 o'clock on the nose, every sound vanished in an instant. Between 11 p.m. and 6 a.m., do not make any noise. Go to sleep first. Bing Yuan-chi comforted Xiao Yubai. The two of them went back to their respective rooms. I didn't go back. It wasn't even 1 in the morning yet. I looked at Ding Yi, and he was looking at me too. We had the same thought. He said, I'll try. If the rules in different fonts represent different levels of power, then, for now, divide them into 3 parts according to color. Black, ordinary rules. If you break them, you'll disappear from the current world. These rules serve to maintain order, and as long as you follow them, you can live out your life safely. Red, deceptive rules. Speaking only of the 2 red rules I received, both of them, if obeyed, would actually work against me. These kinds of rules must be destroyed. Besides those 2 types, there's another color, gray. Is it possible that the gray rules were written by the extra person? Susie was full of goodwill toward us. He kept talking, trying to make me trust him. So, is the rule in gray the key to breaking the deadlock? Do not take the elevator. If the elevator is in operation, you may ride it. Gray. Regarding this rule, when we were in the stairwell, we saw someone run out of the elevator. This rule was not wrong. Then, there was one more gray rule. Please return to your room before 1 a.m. After entering, do not turn on the light. You may read for a while before going to sleep. You may read for a while before going to sleep, gray. Both Ding Yi and I had thought of this. Ding Yi looked at me, his gaze steady. Aaron, I'll give it a try. But this home can't be without a father. Single-parent households are hard. He cut me off. Honestly, what kind of joke is this at a time like this? I took a deep breath. All right. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. I couldn't sleep. No one knew what the person who rode the elevator had encountered inside it. Likewise, I had no way of knowing what Ding Yi would encounter. 6 o'clock arrived. I pricked up my ears, trying to hear any sound from outside the room. There was no sound. Brother must get up at 6 in the morning and buy breakfast before 7. Ding Yi had to go buy breakfast. Why hasn't she moved yet? I really wanted to go out and take a look, but Dad needs to get up at 7 in the morning. I felt irritable. The quiet room only made me more uneasy. Why hasn't he come out yet? Could something have happened to him? Just as I was about to run out, without thinking, Xiao Yubai grabbed me. Aaron, trust your friends. She had dark circles under her eyes. Clear proof she hadn't slept a wink either. Creak! The sound of the door opening came from outside. Xiao Yubai and I both breathed a sigh of relief at the same time. When the 7 o'clock alarm rang, I dashed out the door in an instant. Ding Yi was putting breakfast on the table and turned to smile at me. Maybe the gray text really was the breaking point. We started taking the elevator when it was operating normally, started reading for a while before bed at night. After doing that, no strange people came to our door again. I am Dad. I get up at 7 in the morning, leave for work at 8, come home at 6 in the afternoon, and buy dinner on the way home. Ding Yi's older brother. He gets up at 6 in the morning, buys breakfast before 7, leaves at 8, and comes home at 5:30 in the afternoon. Xiao Yubai's the mother. She gets up at 7 in the morning, leaves for work at 8, comes home at 7 in the evening, and eats dinner by herself before coming back. Bing Yuan-chi is the younger sister. She gets up at 6:30 in the morning, leaves at 8, and returns home at 5:50 in the afternoon. We even take walks around the complex after dinner. Of course, we make sure to be home before 11 at night and lock the door when we return. We cooperate with the property management for home visits, making sure the staff outside the door are wearing blue uniforms and carrying notebooks. Do not open the door for anyone except property management staff. And so, 3 more days passed. The 7 o'clock alarm didn't go off. When I woke up, it was already 8:30. I jumped in fright. This was not what the rules demanded. But nothing happened. I opened the inbox. The rules that had been there before were gone. Not just mine. Ding Yi, Xiao Yubai, Bing Yuan-chi. In each of their message boxes, there was no trace of the rules. The community was as usual. Building 2 had people coming and going. Building 3 saw the occasional in and out. Is it over? I couldn't believe it. Xiao Yubai was so moved, she began to cry. Bing Yuanqi and Ding Yi also wore smiles on their faces. I didn't know what had caused it all to end. Thankfully, it's finally over. Because I've been getting off work around 5 every day for a week straight, my boss called me in for a talk and lectured me until after 8 that night. On the way home, I suddenly thought, if our memories had all been altered and none of us knew who the real tenants were, then the arrangement I originally believed in, me, Ding Yi, and the other 2 roommates sharing the place, might not be true after all. With that in mind, the later inferences I made about Susie all fell apart. Honestly, why dwell on it? What's the point? It's already over. The facts are plain as day. I waved my hand and laughed at my own wild imaginings. The bus pulled up at the stop, and I stepped into the residential complex. The compound was quiet. The people who usually walked dogs or took children out in the evening were nowhere to be seen. Maybe it's because the weather is bad today. There's haze. Everything's gloomy. I walked into the stairwell. The elevator reached the 5th floor. There was a note stuck on our front door. Please be sure to return home before 11 o'clock at night, and lock your door after you get home.